Amidst the endless fields, where the dawn quietly lifts the early morning mist and the golden sunlight spreads across the red soil of the American West, there is a tuber that has quietly fed millions of people for hundreds of years. It is not a colorful fruit, nor a luxury agricultural product. But every year, the United States produces more than 20 million tons of potatoes, enough to circle the earth dozens of times if stacked one by one. Did you know? Potatoes were once considered poor man's food, but now they are the main ingredient of a billion-dollar industry. From potato chips, snacks, to high-end food ingredients, even biofuel. Today, we will start this unexpected journey together. From the time the tiny seeds are sown in the cold ground, until modern harvesting machines turn the whole field over to collect each round potato fragrant with the smell of new soil. Potatoes are not grown from seeds, but the seeds here are actually sprouted potatoes, cut into small pieces. Each piece contains at least one eye where a new potato plant will grow. This is called a seed potato. These seeds are carefully selected from the purest, disease-free, and vigorous varieties. Planting potatoes is not just about putting the tubers in the ground and waiting. The soil for growing potatoes needs to be loose, with a pH of 5.5 to 6.5, well-drained but still evenly moist. In the US, before each season, people often rotate crops, meaning they do not plant potatoes in the same piece of land 2 years in a row. Why? Because this helps prevent pests from developing in the soil and at the same time restores natural fertility. In early spring, when the soil is warm enough and there is no frost, the giant planting machines start working. They can plant more than 10 rows of potatoes at a time, each row a few dozen inches apart. Each potato patch dropped to the exact standard depth, 4 to 6 inches below the ground. Everything is pre-programmed. Location, speed, amount of fertilizer included. Farmers just sit in the cockpit and control, sometimes, from an iPad with a remote management app installed. On the surface, it seems like nothing is happening. But deep underground, a quiet life begins to transform. Potato sprouts grow centimeters longer each day. Roots dig deep to find water. Cells divide, absorbing nutrients from Mother Earth. In mid-May, the potato fields begin to change color. The rows of plants are knee-high. The leaves are green like velvet carpets, stretching to the horizon. But behind that lushness is a meticulous, complex care system, where AI and farmers work together. On many large farms in the US, irrigation is no longer a simple water pipe. They use automated pivot irrigation systems equipped with moisture sensors and controlled remotely by phone. When the plants need water, the central station will order to water every inch of soil precisely. No more, no less. As for fertilizer, people use drones to evenly spread each batch of microbial fertilizer according to a schedule. Some farms even use beneficial microorganisms to increase the resistance of plants instead of using chemical pesticides. But nature is not always pleasant. A sudden hailstorm or a long period of sunshine can cause the whole crop to suffer. That's when the experience of traditional farmers speaks up. They know how to plow the soil, what kind of lime to use to reduce shock to the plants, and when to cheat the weather by changing the night watering schedule. Unlike rice, corn, or soybeans, which can be seen with the naked eye when ripe, mature potatoes remain dormant in the ground. Farmers rely on experience combining sensor data, tuber hardness, starch content, leaf color fading, to choose the ideal time for harvesting, usually mid-September to early October. When the time comes, potato harvesters start walking along the rows. They dig up the soil, separate the tubers from the roots using a conveyor belt, and then gently shake the sieve to remove the sand. It is important to keep the potato skins from being scratched, because each scratch is a door for bacteria to enter. Therefore, the machines are designed very sophisticatedly, vibrating just enough, not hitting, and moving at an optimal speed. Every hour, a machine can harvest more than 30 tons of potatoes. The potatoes are loaded onto trucks with shock-proof containers and soft linings and transported immediately to the cold storage. The harvested potatoes are placed in cold storage with strict control of temperature, humidity, oxygen, and CO2. The ideal temperature is 7 to 10 degrees, cool enough to inhibit sprouting, but not enough to convert starch to sugar, which would burn and turn black when fried. These warehouses have smart air conditioning systems, biosensors that detect ethylene gas, a sign that potatoes are starting to age, to adjust ventilation or handle them promptly. Potatoes can be stored for up to 6 months and still retain the quality of when they were dug up. And that's why you can eat crispy fries in the spring, even if they were harvested the previous fall. After leaving the warehouse, the potatoes are sorted. Those that meet the highest standards are sold fresh in supermarkets and restaurants. Others are sent to the factory, washed, peeled, shredded, lightly fried, and frozen, becoming French fries sold around the world. Here's a little known fact. About 13% of America's potatoes are used exclusively by McDonald's. And to be selected for French fries, the potato must have a minimum length sugar content of less than 0.3% and a curvature of no more than 10 degrees, meeting the standard of crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. There are things that we think are very ordinary, like a potato lying quietly on the kitchen shelf. But to get it, it is a silent and miraculous journey, starting from the land, going through the hands and intelligence of people, then going to every corner of the kitchen in the world. You have just gone through a journey with us from small rows of potatoes underground to $1 billion industry that feeds the world. But the story of American potatoes, as well as agriculture, has never been something that can be told in just one video. If you are moved by the magic of the land, if you want to learn more about the people who silently create miracles every season, or simply, if you will look at today's potato with different eyes, leave a comment to let us know what you think. We want to hear your stories from your small backyard garden to your childhood memories associated with hot potatoes. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel because there are many journeys ahead of you, from Washington apple orchards to Nebraska cornfields, from coffee plantations to bee farms. Each video is a door opening to the world of agriculture, where land, sky, technology, and people blend into life. Thank you for joining us. See you on the next journeys.